Hello everyone, good morning. Today is 27th of May and I welcome you all to the Hindu newspaper analysis discussion. So guys, in today's video, we are going to discuss entire analysis of the Hindu newspaper, all the articles along with the background and way forward we are going to discuss. And I would also like to tell you that you can download the explainer notes of this session from our Telegram channel. Link for Telegram channel is given in the description box in YouTube. Now, starting up, first of all, let's see overview of entire newspaper so that we can understand that actually which articles are important in the today's newspaper. So guys, here we have the Delhi edition of the Hindu newspaper, and the first article that we have here is that only 6 religion options make it to the next census form. So the article is talking about the probable questions, find the probable things that will be asked in the census. We'll take this particular article and the major the issues. Indian Meteorological Department retain its normal outlook for the monsoon season. So there will be the normal rains. Usually when there is El Nino year, there is less than the normal rain, and when the La Nina year is there is more than the normal rain. But this year the rain will be the rain will be the normal. Okay, so this is something fine. The chances of the El Nino fine will likely be below. Okay, so this is something, but however basically guys, but now many of these estimates will be given by the IMD because now the monsoons are just about to begin. Okay, then further moving on, Supreme Court refuses to hear plea against the opening of Parliament by Prime Minister. So guys, this is a new political controversy that has developed where opposition members are saying this thing that the new Parliament which is to be inaugurated tomorrow should be inaugurated by President, because the President is the head of the state. Prime Minister is not the head of the state, Prime Minister is the head of the government. So President should inaugurate it, and for that thing this petition was filed in the Supreme Court, but the Supreme Court has refused to hear this particular petition. Then coming into the city section, so guys, here the regional issues etc are going on here. Regional political things are there which are not very much important for the examination. UPSC to act against 2 for falsely claiming selection, again not important article for the examination, fine. And then we have these advertisements, tenders and all such kind of things. So guys, we don't have much articles till the editorial, and in editorial, sedition and its roots in the rudeness as an offense, we'll see this particular article. A fountainhead of the people's hopes and aspiration, with this article also we'll see it is talking about the new parliament building that is being inaugurated. Then on the side, mob and justice. Okay, so Alwar verdict flags need for stern steps to ensure justice in the lynching case. Okay, so basically guys, this article is talking about the lynching case that happened basically in the Alwar, and there was the communal undertone in this particular case. Okay, now this particular article is giving the details that okay, on which date this incident happened, who was involved and all such kind of things. Okay, however guys, we don't need to go too much in detail in this kind of a vigilantism and that particular details of this particular issue, but understand this thing that these mob lynchings or mob justice happens to be one of the most dreaded thing which should not be tolerated in the Indian democracy. These instant justice, mob justices are something which are highly unethical. Okay, then further moving on, a younger lot. Without Nadal, there is no clear favorite at Roland Garros. Okay, so the article guys doesn't contain much of the important articles. Okay, much of the important substance for the examination. Ground zero report. Okay, Ari Compan still comes for rice. Okay, so basically guys, this article is talking about a troublemaker elephant that got shifted. Okay, so basically all those particular things are being provided here. Now guys, understand this particular thing. This is the ground zero report. In the ground zero report, what happens from the ground, this step by step report that what happened, so basic particular details etc, those things are being provided. Then after that, here on the news page guys, we now have very much of the political articles. For example, Congress kept a sacred symbol as walking stick, says Shah. So guys, if you remember yesterday we have discussed an article on this Sangol. Fine, this scepter Sangol, all the details with respect to this Sangol, which will now be fixed in the parliament, which will now be planted in the parliament building. Okay, so I have given you the entire history. Now there were the questions some people raised that what is the proof that this scepter was actually having such of rich history as you were claiming. And then it was said that this particular symbol was kept by Jawaharlal Nehru for few days, so it was kept as a walking stick and all such kind of things. No need to go. Souvenirs show scepter was given to Mountbatten. Okay, but please guys, don't no need to go too much in detail in these particular things. Then further moving on, we have these political articles, not much containing much of the substance. Then guys, here, don't attack us, we are the elected people, the Manipur CM. So Manipur crisis, okay, is going on for so many of the days. We have already also seen that why this crisis started. This crisis started because in Manipur, the Methi people, okay, the Metis in Manipur, they demand ST status, and even the Manipur High Court recommended that they should be given the ST status. But the other tribal people, they say that Metis are already politically very dominant, they are demographically dominant, they also hold large number of government jobs, they also in the legislative assembly, find out of the 60-40 MLAs are from the Metis, so they should not be given. So because of this particular thing, the conflict started and this crisis is going on. Fine. Then European Union officials seek to allay India's concern on the carbon tax. Okay, so basically this carbon tax issue, guys, I think also we have seen at least 2 times in the past week. There was one article also that has come. Okay, now actually what is this carbon tax issue? So European Union, they are proposing a new carbon border, they are talking about the carbon border adjustment mechanism, or the carbon tax in simple words. What is this carbon tax? So basically European Union imports a lot of things. For example, steel, cement, many such kind of things it imports. So if any of the product that European Union is importing, and if it has been made by doing a lot of carbon emissions, then an additional tax will be imposed on such kind of an items. Now when we talk about India is a major exporter to the European Union, and if such taxes will be imposed on the products, because in India we are still not following the carbon emission norms that much stringently, so basically Indian products will become uncompetitive. Okay, so European Union says that okay, we will take care of this particular thing. Okay, so basically guys, when we talk about the India, in the context of India, okay, manufacturers have raised concern that a tax will mean a 20 to 35% tariff on Indian exports. 20 to 35% tariff on Indian exports. Okay, and India is exporting steel, aluminium, cement. Okay, this is something 20 to 35% more taxes will be there. Right now there is the less than 3% of the duty that is there. Okay, so basically when we talk about guys India, 27%. okay, so basically some of these numbers you can keep in your mind. Fine, so around 27% of India's exports of steel, iron and aluminium, okay, they are going to the European Union. And what is the value of that? Value of that is around $8.2 billion. Is it clear or not? Now guys, the idea as of now is that by 2026 this particular tax will be fully be operational. Okay, I hope that it is clear that fully it will be operational. Okay, and therefore this is the issue. Okay, I have discussed it at least I think 2 times in last week we have discussed, and earlier also we have discussed this particular article. Okay, so this is the only thing, but actually what will happen, these things will come over a period of time. Okay, India Nepal may sign pacts on energy and water during Prachanda's 4-day visit. So basically guys, Prime Minister of Nepal, that is Pushpa Kamal Dahal Prachand, fine, is preparing for the official visit to India, and during that particular visit, energy agreement, water agreement, on the hydropower agreements were expected to be signed. Right now guys, no need to go too much in this particular article. When the visit will happen and if some important thing will come, we will take this particular thing then. Right now no need to do. Okay, so with the basically in the 4-day visit, fine, these particular things will be done. Okay, so this particular visit is expected to begin on May 31. Okay, then further moving on, Indus Water Treaty, Center advises Jammu and Kashmir to scale up efforts for better utilization. So guys, when we talk about the basically Indus Water Treaty, so Indus Water Treaty is a treaty between India and Pakistan for the sharing of the river water. Okay, so eastern and western rivers have been divided between India and Pakistan. Much important guys, actually what has happened, the government has just said the Jammu and Kashmir that better utilize the India's share. Okay, India, just a minute. Fine. Okay, so now guys, moving on to the next article. Navy ISRO releases training plan. We'll see this article. Union Food Ministry counters fortified rice. Okay, we will see this particular article for the examination. Darjeeling to join the list of most polluted cities of West Bengal. Okay, this is misfortunate incident, guys, because when we talk about Darjeeling, it is talk about said as the queen of hills, and human activities, human tourism, and even this toy train which runs on the steam is responsible for the pollution. Then after that, coming to the world page. So in world page, pro-Imran protest, fine in Pakistan, Bhutan, China claims progress in boundary talks between Bhutan and China are going on. Okay, much of the relevant articles are not there. Okay, after that, guys, moving to the business page. SEBI 2 is passive funds rule soon. We'll see this article briefly. Then M&M Q4 profits. Okay, and these corporate profits, etc., have been largely been given. So this is, guys, all about this particular issue. I hope that you have understood it. And now moving to the one by one discussion of all the relevant articles. Now starting up, guys, so in every class we start with a GS quotation which could be used in complementing our answers in GS paper number 1, 2, 3 and 4. Today we'll be taking the quotation from the Mother Teresa. So Mother Teresa says, it's not about how much you do, it's about how much love you put into what you do that counts. So how much you are doing is important, but it is not the only important. What your intentions are behind your action, what is the degree of devotion that you have in your actions, that is something that is important. How much love you are putting, how much love is there, how much intensity is there in your actions. Okay, how much the feeling of some welfare of the other person is there, that is something that matters. Okay, so intentions are equally important than the actions. We can use this particular idea in GS paper number 4 ethics. GS paper number 4 ethics, we can use this particular idea. So that is all, guys, about it. I hope that you have understood it. And now we'll be moving to the next first article for the today. So guys, this first article we have taken from the Hindu newspaper, page number 1, as you have already seen. Now the article, what it reads, only 6 religion options make it to next census form. Now we will see this particular article with respect to the GS paper number 1, population related issues. We'll see it with respect to the GS paper number 1, issues related to the population. Okay, now let me explain you some of the first basic things, and then we will be going on in this particular article. So basically, guys, when we talk about the census is the biggest demographic exercise that India undertakes. Demographic means studies related to the population. So in the census, we study the different attributes of population. For example, the population of people, how many are male, how many are female, what is the literacy rate, okay, what is the different number of people of religion, okay, how many people actually are migrant. All these things we take up in the census. Now, guys, India carried the non-synchronous census in 1871, and even before that also, for example 1861 also, there was a non-synchronous census that was conducted, that is in some of the parts. But from 1881 we are regularly conducting the synchronous census, okay, of the entire country. Okay, and when we talk about, guys, the India, okay, right now it is the Ministry of Home Affairs that is responsible for conducting the census at every 10 years. Last census that was conducted in India was in 2011. Okay, and now 2021 census is pending. Okay, this 2021 census was to be conducted, but because of the pandemic, this census has got postponed indefinitely. Okay, and there were many of the articles, etc., also that has come. Even we have discussed that why you are postponing it. Now, when we talk about the census, Ministry of Home Affairs and Registrar General and Census Commissioner, fine, within that, Registrar General and Census Commissioner of India is actually who is responsible for conducting the census at every 10 years. Such synchronous means the combined census of all the states, fine. So census commissioner, registrar general and census commissioner within the Ministry of Home Affairs is responsible in conducting the census. Now when we talk about census, guys, the census is a union subject. It is a union subject mentioned under article 246 within the 7th schedule. Okay, now one more thing is that, guys, that for conducting the census, who gives the authority for conducting census to Ministry of Home Affairs? For that we have the Census Act of 1948. So as per the Census Act of 1948, the Home Ministry gets the authority to conduct the census. Now when we talk about, guys, the 2021 census, it would be the first census that was to be collected digitally through the mobile application. So earlier the enumerators, they used to have a paper and a pen in which they will make a noting, then those paper sheets will be compiled, okay, and then the result will be published. And actually it used to take so many of the years while the data was published. Okay, sometimes some of the data was published after the gap of 8 years, 9 years. It actually has happened in 2011 census also. But this time the census was to be conducted in digital format through mobile applications, where the real-time entries will be made into the database, and just after the conclusion of the census, within a few days, the result would be given. Okay, so this is something. Moreover, there is also the option that the people can also upload some of the information voluntarily. So all these things will reduce the delay in declaring the results. Okay, now when we talk about, guys, 2021 census, as of now date has not been given that when it will be conducted and when the result will come out. But basically the government has here it has been provided that what type of questions will be asked, so basically let's discuss about that, what type of things will be asked into the census. So many of the new things are being added in the census. For example, asking the people with respect to the mode of travel which they use to go to their work. You go on a motorbike, you go on a car, you go on public transport. Find how much travel time is taken, okay, in terms of the hours and minutes, whether people are using metro rail for the travel or not. Find further the questions on the disabilities will be there. And when we talk about the disabilities, guys, the acid attack have also been added into the list of disability. One more thing, guys, I want to tell you that, see, basically we already have amended the Right of Person with Disabilities Act in 2016, and in the Right of Person with Disabilities Act 2016, already within the list of disabilities we have added acid attack as a disability. So here also this particular thing is being done, I think, okay, because that is only the logical explanation. Moreover, we are recognizing basically this dimension also. Then intellectual disability, okay, chronic neurological disease, blood disorders, okay, such as thalassemia, etc., fine, hemophilia, etc., will be recognized. Then when we talk about this census 2021, in this particular census, basically the details with respect to the accommodation, okay, household of the people will also be recorded, because this is also, guys, one issue that when the COVID-19 pandemic started, people started to go back, reverse migration happened. And what was the reason of that particular reverse migration? Reason was this, that people were not able to afford the high rentals. Government realized this problem, that rentals are very much high. So basically for that particular thing, just one additional thing I am telling you, that government actually also came out with the affordable rental housing complex scheme under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. Okay, so basically the number of people who actually living in the rented households, that number will help government in better positioning that particular scheme. Okay, so that is something, rented house. Okay, then, guys, also the questions are being asked that with respect to the availability of drinking water. Now understand this particular thing, government is already running the Jal Jeevan Mission. Government is already running the Jal Jeevan Mission, where government aims to provide the functional household tap water connections by 2024. Earlier this scheme was for rural areas, then it got expanded to the urban areas also. So by 2024, functional household tap water connections will be provided. Okay, so for that particular thing, right now how many people actually are getting covered, okay, that things might help. Okay, so this is something. So basically how many people are having the water near the premises, means within 100 meters of your place, within 500 meters in your place in rural areas. These are the definitions. Then, guys, apart from that, people will also be registered on terms of their religion. Now different religion has been given a code. For example, Hinduism could have code 1, then another religion might have code 2, 3, likewise. So basically in this particular census it has been said that basically it will count only Hindus, Muslims, Christians, Buddhists, Sikhs, Jains. Fine. Now there is also one issue has become here. What is the issue? Basically the Adivasis, okay, or Adivasis in Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, nature worshipping communities, they are saying that why their faith, for example Sarna faith, it has not been listed as a separate religion. Karnataka's Lingyats, they are also making a similar demand that the Lingyat option should also be given there. But government right now has only option to give these 6 options of the religion that I have discussed. However, other religion, if you follow, you can write the name of that particular religion on that form, but separate code would not be given. So this is, guys, all the issues. This is about all the issues with respect to the census that is to be now conducted. Now I hope, guys, that you have understood it, and we'll be moving to the next article now. Navy ISRO releases a training plan for Gaganyaan crew. Okay, now what is this particular issue, guys, all about? Let's understand this thing. So first of all, this particular article will see with respect to the GS paper number 3, science and technology. Even the prelims examination will see this particular article. Okay, now, guys, understand this particular thing that first of all, ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization, is taking a lot of ambitious programs, and out of the ambitious programs, one of an ambitious program that ISRO has taken is the Gaganyaan space flight. Now, what is Gaganyaan space flight? In Gaganyaan space flight, there will be 2 phases that will be there. Under the phase 1, there will be 2 flights, that is G1 and G2, that will be made. These G1 and G2 flight will be the unmanned flights. Okay, and taking then after the success of G1 and G2, if there is some mistakes, we will learn from the G1 and G2, and then H1 flight will be taken up. H1 is a human space flight. So in this, actual humans, Indian astronauts will be sent to the space. So basically, guys, understand this thing that as we are sending the human astronauts into the space, we need to bring them back also. So for bringing them back, there will be a capsule like module that will be there. Module means a kind of a equipment, a kind of a device, a kind of a, you can say, a spacecraft kind of a thing. So there will be a capsule module which will bring the astronauts back. Now that particular module, how it will make a landing? It will make landing in the water, in the ocean. Okay, probably around Bay of Bengal, Arabian Sea, somewhere it will land. So as it will land in water, these astronauts from these modules are then to be rescued. So how they will come out of the water, how they will survive there, for all these particular kind of things, basically for all these particular kind of things, their training is being done. Okay, so basically, guys, India is trying to take, first of all, its own space flight, human space flight. Now one more thing, guys, I'll tell you. Rakesh Sharma has been the astronaut of Indian origin who already had made the space flight, but he had made the space flight on Soviet Union rocket, that is Soyuz T-11. Soviet Union. Okay, so we know that at basically this particular flight was made in 1984. Then Russia was not there, Soviet Union was there. So Soviet Union's rocket Soyuz T-11. Okay, so basically it was not ISRO's rocket. Fine. So basically this is the complete Indian program. Fine, Indian astronauts, Indian rocket, Indian recovery program, everything. So for this particular thing, the training has been undergoing. So basically, guys, what is the issue? So basically, in order to make this Gaganyaan mission successful, fine, Indian Navy is helping the Indian Space Research Organization, and their training is going on at the Gaganyaan Recovery Training Plan at the Water Survival Training Facility INS Garuda, Kochi. Okay, now some more things, guys, that I have told you that the 3 flights will be made. So 2 unmanned flights, they will be launched, and after that the human flight will be launched in the 2024. So basically, guys, when we talk about the flights, So basically this G1 flight and G2 flight, they will be launched into the 2023 and the second quarter of 2024, and then H1, that is the human flight, it will be made in the fourth quarter of 2024. So by 2024 we will launch our astronauts to the space. Clear? So this particular guys mission is to demonstrate India's capabilities. It is to demonstrate India's capabilities. Okay, now this is all about it, and now we will be moving to the next article. Guys, I hope that you are able to understand it. Moving to the next article. Sedition and its roots in rudeness as an offense. We'll see this particular article with respect to the GS paper number 2, issues related to the freedom of speech and expression. Freedom of speech and expression, issues related to the polity. We'll see this particular article. Now, basically guys, what this article is talking about, this article is talking about the law of sedition. Now, one thing guys, that in this article very selected substance is there, so no need to go too much in detail. Now, sedition. So basically guys, sedition is the provision provided in Indian Penal Code section 124A. What is sedition? Sedition is an offense under which a particular person could be tried. So if a particular person is trying to create a disaffection against India, is any particular person is trying to bring down the government established by the law, hatching some conspiracy against the government, okay, or saying certain thing, okay, writing certain thing which will create the disaffection against the government, okay, all those particular offenses could be taken under the section 124A of sedition. Now, when we talk about the section 124A, that is a sedition, this section has been very much controversial. Why? Because Britishers were the one who introduced it to kill the dissent, to curb the freedom struggle that was going on. So the freedom struggle, the freedom fighters, whenever they used to challenge the British authority, they were charged under the section 124A, and people such as Bal Gangadhar Tilak have also been charged under section 124A. So from a very long time it has been said that it is an undemocratic kind of a provision and we should remove it. Now what actually has happened, the Lahore High Court in Pakistan, it has declared the annulment of the offense of sedition. So the Pakistan, which we always see as a country always on very low aspects of the democracy, they have annulled the sedition. And India, we see that still the police is registering the complaints on the law of the sedition. Now guys, when we talk about the sedition in the context of India, we see this particular thing that basically the sedition is often used for the political reasons. For the political reasons, the sedition is being used. Okay, and this basically the disaffection and all these things, these are very subjective things. So any political person or anyone who is saying anything against the government, even the genuine criticism is allowed, constructive criticism is allowed. Constructive criticism makes the democracy stronger. So even constructive criticism is being taken up as sedition. Okay, and basically this is something that is happening. Now when we talk about the Supreme Court in the Media 1 case. Now what was the Media 1 case? So Media 1 case, so basically this was a Malayalam news channel from the Kerala, Media 1, whose broadcasting rights were suspended by the government because it was said that it is showing some anti-national content. Okay, so there was a Media 1 case. In the Media 1 case, basically what happened, the Supreme Court basically it struck down the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting decision to not to renew the broadcast license of the channel. They said that you are saying that this channel is showing the anti-establishment views and it is a threat of national security. The the court said very clearly to the government that the critical views fine on the policy of the government cannot be termed as anti-establishment. So even the court has recognized that constructive criticism is fundamental to the democracy. Okay, so sometimes, and actually many of the number of times, for the political reasons, the constructive criticism is being taken back. Okay, so this is all guys about this particular thing. Beyond that, we don't have much of the things here. Now moving to the next article, a fountainhead of the people's hopes and aspirations. Now what this particular article is talking about, the new parliament building that is being inaugurated by the prime minister, will be inaugurated by the prime minister tomorrow. Now basically the article is saying this thing, that in the 75th year of independence, we are getting a new parliament building and it is a historic moment. When we talk about the parliament building that we have presently, it is around 100 years old, and the design, the architecture, everything represents the colonial era, and there was a need of new structure, the structure of independent India. Okay, so this particular structure has finally been given to India. Now when we talk about the present parliament building, it was inaugurated in 1927, so now it is nearly 100 years more, and there was the need of more and more space. Okay, moreover guys, when we talk about guys, the constituencies, they will be revised in 2026 also. Okay, so there might be more seats that will be added to the parliament. The point is that that there is the office space, that the space is not there, office space is not there, MPs offices are not there. So for this entire purpose, the Central Vista project was taken up. So basically it has been said that from time to time the attempts have been made to add new buildings to the parliament. For example, the Parliament Annex was constructed, Parliament Library was constructed. Okay, but now more construction cannot be added to this building because of the complex design of this particular building. So basically it has been said that when we talk about the parliament building which we have right now, it has a unique architectural style, and as it has a unique architectural style, the fitting of the air conditioning ducts, okay, security gadgets, okay, and all these kind of things cannot be added to this particular building. It has been tried to renovate this particular building many number of times, but now there is no space for renovation, and adding the security gadgets, adding the new computer systems, etc. is actually problem here. So this new building is more space efficient, energy efficient, and is accessible. Now what is accessible guys? Many number of times the public buildings are not accessible to the disabled people. They don't have ramps, they don't have lifts, okay, at all the places. So accessibility is there in the parliament also, it is a very big problem. So for accessibility, the ramps, etc. are being provided. For accessibility, language, there are also the state of the art interpretation facilities that will be added, so that any address, if it is being made by the leader in Tamil, it could be translated in Hindi, English. For that thing, the new arrangements is also there. Moreover, this particular building, it has all the gadgets up to the state of the art gadgets from the security point of view, from the communication point of view. It has an e-library which will increase the accessibility for the people. Now, so therefore it has been said that when we talk about this particular parliament, it will enhance the capacity of legislatures, will improve the efficiency of the secretariats, will give the office spaces to the legislators. Okay, so this is something. So therefore this article is talking about the parliament and saying that undue politicization of this issue should not be done. This could be an opportunity that the leaders should come together and should start with a new beginning. Okay, now moving to the next article. Okay, Union Food Ministry counters Congress. Union Food Ministry counters Congress, says fortified rice is safe. Now basically guys, understand this particular thing. This article will see with respect to the issues of hunger, GS paper number 1 and GS paper number 2. See, when we talk about hunger, there are two dimensions of hunger. There is number 1 malnutrition, and number 2 there is hidden hunger. What is malnutrition? Okay, malnutrition is chronic. It is a chronic state where you are not taking that adequate amount of foods that are required. See, according to FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization, if your caloric intake is less than the minimum dietary energy requirement. Now see, everything needs energy to work. Even human body needs energy to work. We consume energy by food, and that energy is measured in terms of calorie. So every food will give you some energy, some calories will be given. So if actual calories that you are taking, it is less than the minimum dietary energy requirement, then you will be facing the malnutrition over a period of time. Okay, but sometimes actually what is happening, we are eating the food, adequate quantity we are getting, but because we don't have diversified food, our food is not having all the complex minerals, vitamins. So what is happening, we are eating quantity of food, but still there is a deficiency that comes, and that is the hidden hunger. Guys, understand this thing, that a human body needs three macronutrients, which is the fat, carbohydrate and protein, and there are 23 micronutrients. Okay, so if we are not having them in the balance, then there is the problem of hidden hunger. Now guys, in India, the malnutrition and hidden hunger are a very big problem. In order to improve that particular thing, government had decided to provide the fortified rice, that is the enriched rice to the people. And now guys, what is happening? So government is distributing the fortified rice even through the fair price shops. Okay, now basically what are these fortified rice? These particular kind of a rice, it has been said that they will help in improving the nutritional quality and will address the nutritional deficiency in the food. It can combat iron deficiency, vitamin A deficiency. Now what is this fortified rice? So basically guys, in the fortification, the normal kind of a rice, they will be added with the powdered vitamins and minerals. Okay, fine. Or what can be done through different techniques? For example, a coating can be done on the rice with a nutrient rich powder, or it could be pre-mixed with the nutrient rich powder before the processing. So by this particular thing, artificially we are increasing the nutritional value of the rice. Okay, and we can increase the iron, vitamin A content. Now basically the government, the opposition party, the Congress, and many of the activists, they have said this particular thing, that the basically basically the fortified rice should not be given. It has been said that it has been said that often it has been said that consumption of fortified rice, okay, they see government says that consumption of fortified rice resulted in the improvement in hemoglobin level, reduction in the prevalence of the anemia. But some of the other people, some of the other food activists, they are saying that no, there are no such clear accounts that actually it will help in improving the hemoglobin level or will reduce the will reduce the food. Then also on the poor people it will have a impact. People fine cannot buy it. Okay, you are giving them through FPS, fine, but what the people who actually buy the food don't have ration cards, migrant people. Okay, so basically this is the issue. However, see, we don't need to go in the political controversy that Congress is saying this, BJP is saying this. We need to know the concept of fortified rice. What is the fortified rice? Okay, SEBI to ease passive funds rules soon. Now guys, till now the rules have not come. The rules will come. Basically guys, what are the passive funds? Basically here it is talking about the mutual funds. Now what is a mutual fund guys? Basically you can invest your money directly into the share if you have some knowledge. But let's say you don't have knowledge about the share. What you can do, you can give your money to the asset management company. That asset management company will pool your money, will take the money from many other people, will collect that particular money in the pool, and this money will be invested in some 10-15 different types of shares, and as their performance will be, your money will generate a return. This is a very simple explanation of mutual fund. Now the mutual fund could be of the different category. For example, there could be the index fund. What is index fund? Index fund means that your money is being invested only in those companies which are a part of a particular index. For example, census. I hope you can see that. For example, Sensex. So basically Sensex is a index, Nifty is an index. Sensex contains 30 countries, companies, Nifty contains 50 companies. So only in these companies your money is being invested. For example, if Sensex will go up, your investment will go up. If Sensex will go down, your investment will go down. So these types of fund, for them new rules, liberalized rules will be passed by the SEBI. Now what exact rules will come? Fine, that we need to see with the time. Okay, that is all about it. And now the main practice question for today. So question reads that the trend of increasing disruptions and long period of deadlock is antithetical to the demand for politics to respond to the complex governance challenges of our time. Critically analyze. So this will be a 10 marker question for GS paper number 2. So that is all guys about the article for today. I hope that you have understood it. And with this we come to an end to the today's session. Thank you so much.